Hello, and a very, very good evening to you. It's wonderful to be back live streaming again on Monday. Apologies that we are streaming a little bit later tonight. We had a few technical issues, but it's all good now, and we're all back on track. So, like I said, wonderful to be back here on a Monday evening. We had a great weekend actually. It's been a really lovely weather out there, and because of the weather, I thought I would share an image out with you as I always do, and start off the intro to this evening's program. So this is the moon captured over actually outside Highcliffe, which is on the coast in Dorset. And it looks a bit like the sun because I did a long exposure, but I really like this because it's kind of gives you that calming. I think it took me maybe 300 seconds or something on a long exposure to capture it, which was really interesting. So that was really good actually. So I enjoyed that, and I thought I would just share that out as a sort of a calming image this evening, as a start to the week. And I thought to that note, I would also play some piano to lead us into this evening's just sort of reflection, really, and time to chill out. Well, that came out a little bit more sort of angsty than I thought it would do. But there you go. That's obviously what a Monday night is all about. A bit of angst in there as well. But yeah, I think that's sort of a relatively sort of a unique start for us. But Peter, I'm going to jump across and say hi to Peter because I haven't spoken to Peter all weekend, and as always, I'm always intrigued to know what Peter's been up to over the weekend. Peter, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I like that piece of music. There was one or two little Baroque twiddles in there, which I thought you're not given to Baroque, but it nearly was. And well done on that.
Oh, cheers. Well, I've been having a bit of a sort of experiment here. I've been chatting to Toby and Sam. We've been having a look at all sorts of different music over the weekend. Maybe looking at a bit more jazzy things and sort of getting more stuff in. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Now I'm really excited. It's been a kind of musical thing. I mean, the problem is at the moment is that everybody is putting their music out on YouTube and Facebook, and and here we are doing the most extraordinary people that you've forgotten even existed have suddenly come forward to make music, and I think that's great. I didn't know about Sam's band Beverly Moon, and I just played the link through on Spotify, and I thought, this is really good. This is, something that's been hidden away. So that's one of the great things about lockdown. It's kind of revealing a lot of hidden stuff that we didn't see otherwise.
Yeah, they're a cracking band, actually. I mean, maybe we could jump across and speak to Sam about that, because Sam, I think I saw something fleetingly go on Facebook. Maybe you could expand a little bit on that. What's up?
Hello. So 2 days ago, we released our second single called Brother, which is about my friend George. He writes all of our songs, and we kind of work around him. But it was about him and his brother. They were having a very close bond before his brother moved away to Canada. And his brother had quite an intense breakup with his wife. And it's all about, the fact that George was over in England and his brother was all the way over in Canada going through this intense thing. And he felt like he'd left him there. He couldn't really help him in the way that he wanted to. And it came out 2 days ago. Seems to be doing well so far. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube if you fancy checking it out. It's Beverly Moon Brother is the name.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I don't know if we can if we're allowed to play it on the stream or not. I don't know. I'll have to check with the powers that be. But maybe that's something we could do. That sounds cool to me.
Yeah, I'd love to at some point. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe check out with them what the relevant permissions are or whatever, and we'll see if we can get that squared away.
It sounds good.
But brilliant. I'm gonna head back to Peter because Peter, whenever I don't speak to you, Peter, for a couple of days, I always feel like you get up to something.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go very far. I'm just here. I did go shopping in Tesco's this morning, which was less frantic than it has been. But no, this weekend I've been making a video because I felt that, the lobster ladder quiz we were doing, I felt the lobsters weren't given their due they weren't given their due. Basically, I didn't pay them for that. So I thought, God, sorry, words, no words left. So I thought I'd give them a little outing in a video, which the nice thing about the video is it has got footage from a cycle ride along the Bournemouth Prom some years ago. So it does remind you a little bit about what Bournemouth used to be, when we used to say to visitors, come in, come in, come in. Instead of now, we're going, go away, go away, go away. So it's a kind of pre-lockdown video. So that's called The Lobster's Day Out.
Well,
so,
I think I've got that. So, Peter, I think if you're all right, we'll bring that up and we'll play it out. I haven't seen it yet, but I saw a thumbnail and I was intrigued.
Yeah,
so,
the royalties will come in handy.
Excellent. Right. Well, here we go then. Here's The Lobster's Day Out.
You might think that lobsters have a pretty exciting life, crawling about on the seabed, jumping out on unsuspecting elderly neighbours and nipping them with their big claws and so on. But lobsters are naturally inquisitive creatures and get easily bored, which is why so many of them end their days exploring unusual things like lobster pots. And seeing Auntie Phyllis and Uncle Sid disappearing up to the surface in one of those contraptions one day, Sir Lawrence and Lady Louisa Lobster could only think that they were on their way to having a splendid time in some sort of holiday cruise. They had watched the little boat disappear off in the direction of the shore many days in a row, taking various members of the family with them. So they decided to go on an explore of the world of humans and have a little holiday themselves. It wasn't long before they were crawling up the beach and feeling the warm sun on their backs. They were soon jaunting along the promenade, but truth to tell, it all looked a bit dull compared with their exciting undersea home. The promenade was hard and flat and hot, with nothing of interest to crawl over or under. There were the fronds of weed swaying in the current, just a bunch of trees that stood stiffly and barely moving. The little birds that flitted about their branches were not as interesting as the shoals of little silver fishes that they were used to. Even the humans did little more than lie about on the sand, great blubbery mounds of white flesh, gradually changing colour as the day wore on. Eventually, they found an ice cream melting on the hot tarmac. Yeah! Louisa wrinkled her nose. How disgusting and bland! Not a bit fishy. After a while, the sun became too hot, and they crawled back down the beach. "Bye," said Louise as they swam back into the refreshing waves. "You must have caught the sun, Sir Lawrence. You are as red as a human." And they laughed.
Brilliant. Well, do you think the lady that do you think the lady that you were chasing with the lobsters, Peter, knew that she was being attacked by by lobsters there?
I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. I wasn't really out with lobsters on the prom. That was all done with clever trick photography. It was all done in post.
No way.
You
could have fooled me.
It was, gosh, that was quite a difficult one to do, actually. And sometimes I get a bit over ambitious, and it kind of, because they're, you do a film like that and you don't realize, but actually you've got to do quite a lot of layers of video, and layer them all together so that they work, and it's very tedious. I think I'll give up making those sort of films. They really are.
Well, you do realise what you've done there, Peter, is that you've done this massive in-joke that only people that have watched Behind the Piano over the last couple of weeks will understand, and you've expanded it up.
That's right.
I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I get the context. It's brilliant.
It's kind of for you, Richard. I did the whole thing for you. That's kind of forget everybody else. So there you are.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed that very much. Although I feel like we shouldn't leave you alone too long, and maybe we should stream out over the weekend.
No. That's the problem. When you don't do one of these evenings, I do get up to stuff, and it's kind of can be a bit wearing.
Right. Well, we'll have to do more then. Get you back in.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to jump across to Sam because Sam, what did you make of that?
I loved it. It reminds me of when I was at art school and I was learning how to use the green screen.
Once you get green screen,
I think since working at Chronicle Sphere Media, I've been slightly pushed towards a more I guess a professional aesthetic. I think my heart really lies with
steady, Sam, steady.
My heart lies with the lobsters. But yeah, no, that was great.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I'm going to say I'm going to jump across because I can see Paul's in the green room tonight. A very good evening to you, Paul. How's your weekend been?
Oh, it's been very busy, in fact.
Has it? That's good to hear.
Yeah, because last weekend I did say we're preparing for the online service of the St. George's Day parade. all the scouts throughout the district and the county are going to come together to make their promise on the 23rd, but also going to clap on the 8 o'clock by wearing scout uniform. So they're all trying to get together.
Brilliant. And that'll be on that'll be Thursday then, won't it? Fantastic.
Apart from that, I haven't been doing very well much. I watched the service at the cathedral yesterday because they had the second Sunday after Easter. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Got any tips for us then on the live stream?
Well, the organ's been played again. They got the organ back, and it was playing Hallelujah Chorus again.
Oh, brilliant! Is that if they fixed the one at Salisbury then? Because last year when we took the Globe down, there was a massive set of scaffolding, and they swapped it all out. They've replaced it and got it back up and running, have they?
Yeah, it's all back up and running. Over 4,000 pipes.
Brilliant.
I think it's 4,000.
And that scaffolding was some I mean, it was right across the back. Were you there when we took the Globe down? I'm sure you were, weren't you, on that day?
I didn't see you put it out. But I see them when they're all coming down, all the pipes and everything. I was there then. Apart from that, it's been a lazy weekend, if you like.
Well, brilliant. I mean, that's good to hear as well. Get some rest. But lovely to see you again, Paul. Because we catch up on this show. It's like that's like a show. It's more of a catch up on the stream, isn't it? But yeah, it's good to see you. Well,
I'm singing as well. I still got my voice. My voice still live, just about. My bass voice.
Brilliant. Yeah, because we were going to because I was teaching you to sing, wasn't I? And I was helping you along, and you were going to do your grade 1 singing. We were going to work towards that, and in fact, I've got your book because you gave it to me a couple of weeks before we went into lockdown, so I've still got that.
Well, I have to wait until we reopen again.
Yeah.
And I've also been in contact with Tony's wife as well, Elaine. She's been emailing me 2 or 3 times this weekend, keeping her, how Tony and the rest of the family are coming on.
And they're doing okay, are they?
Oh, yeah.
Given the circumstances.
Tony's already organised his funeral. He's done it himself.
Yes, I remember that he put some quite meticulous plans in place, hadn't he? Which was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Apart from that, everything is going fine. I'll be glad when this lockdown's finished and go outside then.
Yeah, that'd be good, won't it?
I did go out this morning, but not very far, and up and down to get 1 or 2 things from the shop.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, Paul, I'm going to jump on and play some piano because I feel like playing a little bit more this evening because it kind of keeps me relaxed and it gives me a chance to kind of experiment and play a little bit. Just, so I'm going to jump there, and then I'm going to come back and have a bit of a talk to guys as well. So here's another piece this evening, which we've been quite sort of like a jazzy kind of mood, haven't we, Sam? We've been looking at some interesting stuff certainly today and over the weekend. So let's give it a go then. it's a bit of a different number. It's interesting to try and just experiment and play a bit, see what comes out, and that's part of what Behind the Piano is all about. It's about exploring the piano. It's about chatting to people, finding out stories and inspirations, and seeing what happens really. And then from there we can go and we can do lots of different things and take things out. I particularly enjoyed Friday night, where we did some different visuals together with electronic music. Now, we weren't allowed out on the balcony on Friday, if you saw the stream, because unfortunately there was thunder. Thunder and lightning was forecast. However, I still maintain it would have been fine, but they did have to hold me back, and I was locked down inside like everybody else. So we put some visuals with that, and I enjoyed experimenting that and discovering it in a different way. And we'll be doing that again on Friday, probably, fingers crossed, back on the balcony from some of that. But all of that electronic music has led me to kind of explore a little bit more with different instruments and different things. So I've been writing a few songs, and also exploring how real instruments can then work together with the electronic music, and that's kind of been something that's kind of floating in the background. We had a bit of a look at that a bit more today and some rehearsals, and hopefully I'll be able to bring to you at the beginnings of something tomorrow evening on the stream. So that's kind of my aim, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But Peter, like we've been saying, this whole stream was really set up to kind of facilitate that, really, wasn't it? It was to kind of like do things and see what happens. You know, if some things go horribly wrong, that's great because you learn from it. Some things go right, and you go, oh wow, there's a good idea.
Yeah, I think where this is all working is when people are trying stuff out, and I think we've got I've said this before. I think we've got the possibility of the groundwork for a different sort of artistic expression among people. And I think the only thing I would criticize, or I have an issue with, is kind of people who are just turning out stuff that they would be turning out anyway. You know, we've got a new platform here, a different platform. You know, this is the place, really is the place to experiment and try, because we need to be doing that for the whole world. You know, we need to be kind of, whilst we've got this pause, why not try some different things? Some of it will be crackers and useless, but you know, it's not in terms of what it costs to put something like this on YouTube or on Facebook. The costs are basically minimum if you've got you've got a mobile phone. Off you go. Try something different. And there's some interesting stuff coming up. There's a reading of all of Shakespeare's sonnets by 154 sonnets, and each one's been a different actor is going to do it on Thursday, which, as you know, is Shakespeare's birthday, as well as St. George's Day. And 154 actors are going to be reading 154 sonnets, and that's interesting. That's an amazing sort of communal effort, which you wouldn't get in real life. You wouldn't get 154 actors on a stage to do that. I've got a friend of mine is doing one of it. Trisha Lewis is reading one of the, you know her, you did some videos for her, and she's doing one of the streams and raising money for As One Theatre Company, which you also know. See, everything joins together, doesn't it, in the most delightful way. So, you know, we're kind of finding different ways of talking to people, and different. And I'm just hoping that the one thing that will come out of this will be a whole art form revolving around lobsters, and and despite Sam's dismissal of my video, despite his snootiness, I think there's a way forward here, and I think we will all be better people for it in the end.
I think you need to take those lobsters, put them in a box, drop them at Sam's house, and say, "Right, over to you, mate. What are you going to do?" Yeah, come on.
Oh no! Get your own lobsters, mate.
Yes. But you're absolutely right, Peter, on the whole communicating thing, because I know Toby had a little bit of a breakthrough on Friday, and he probably will mind me saying, but we've been looking at connecting up the ways that so we've been connecting up the computers so they can broadcast to each other, so you don't have to use things like Zoom, and whereby we can directly broadcast.
We don't need people at all. We just get the computers. We can go home.
Yes, yes. What we've been secretly developing over the last few weeks is actually AI.
Brilliant. Well done, Toby.
You've cracked it.
You've cracked it.
We don't need the vaccine. It's fine.
We can just deal with all of it. I can go and make flapjacks, which I'd much rather be doing than talking to you.
But
sorry, no.
Fine. Well, you know what? This is why I don't do this. No. So the whole idea is this is cool, because what it means is that we can do more creative things across this way. So it means that we're not limited to just having, say, for example, you on the screen with me. Then we can start saying, oh, well, if you want to do some multicam work with lobsters at your end, and then you talk with Sam, and then Sam chats with Paul, you can kind of then start to create these networks which are then leading off, and that's quite exciting, because it means that we should be able to develop this. We should decentralize it, basically, is what we're saying, which I'm quite excited by, because it should give you guys a little bit more creativity and freedom. I
can't quite visualize that. It obviously takes a sort of a brain like yours, but I kind of I'd be really up for seeing how that works. I'm really interested in it. But I mean, the problem with networks altogether, we've seen it with Facebook, is that if the network gets so big that you cannot interact with all of the people on the network, and so it all closes down. The problem with Facebook is it's closed down into a tiny bubble surrounding each individual, and I don't know how you overcome that. There's obviously an algorithm for talk to everybody. I don't know whether you need an algorithm, but it's kind of we're not there yet with a universal networking machine. But I mean, if Toby's invented one, you know how much Mark Zuckerberg is worth at the moment. I knew him. I knew that guy when he was just a face on a screen with a pair of earphones.
But yeah, he never appears on the stream either. I mean, get him on. No, he's run off. Anyway, we'll come to you tomorrow with that, Peter, and we'll see if we can get you up and running.
I'm up for it if we can, because what I like, the one thing I've always enjoyed working with you, Richard, is the fact that you've kind of got all these crazy ideas, which are kind of, they do work. I remember coming to the first meeting with you about the globe and and all the projection equipment, thinking these people are completely mad. But there's what I'm interested in is not the technicality; it's what you can actually do with it, and then what you can make, how you can make the world a better place using that piece of kit. And in the end, any algorithm or piece of kit needs to dissolve into the background, needs to become so transparent that it's kind of not there anymore. But
no, definitely, of course, and that's where you go. But I'm excited by it because I think it should enable us a little bit more. That's why I'm kind of excited, because I feel like in lockdown I've got all the kit at this end, and you've got quite a lot of kit there. I mean, Peter, you've got all your green screen stuff, and you got quite a nice fancy microphone.
It looks as though that might be put away for a little while if Sam's views are anything to go by.
Yeah, seriously, pack it up and ship it over to him. But yeah, I know, for example, Sam should be able to do a lot more, because I mean, literally, Sam's just got a computer, so we should be able to get some kit around. And we've had people like Stefine and Kenneth on the program, and I feel like they're wonderfully talented musicians, but what they can't do is they can't quite get the sound quality across quite as well. So we should be able to let them. We should be able to give them the tools to get that sound and video across. So that's quite interesting. I don't think we can make it. Well, I mean, it would give it a go in Prague as well, but that might take a little longer to ship cameras out to there, which be interesting.
Yeah.
But certainly the more local guys, we should be able to do a bit more with that. So that should be quite fun, and I'm quite excited to see that kind of come together. But anyway,
no, good. I mean, some good has got to come out of this. This is a bad thing, and it is a bad thing, and it's very serious, and and it's very serious for a lot of people. But out of the strong cometh forth weakness. No, sorry. Oh, some quote or other.
You've been taking presenting lessons off me, Peter.
Out of the strong cometh forth sweetness. That's what it is. Not the the golden syrup tin. Have you got golden? Do you keep golden? I collect golden syrup tins. This is another one of my little collections.
Ah, brilliant.
And on the front, there's a picture of a lion. Is that in focus?
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I see him.
And a little slogan that says, out of the strong cometh forth sweetness. And it's what it is, it's a dead lion. And there's a colony of bees have made their nest. And so the body of the lion is being turned into honey. It's a bit weird. That's a bit weird for your tea table, but I've
never noticed that before. I knew it was a lion. I just never taken the time to look, and now I'm seeing it in a completely different light.
And I'm not sure what the quotation is. The quotation is biblical. I ought really to look it up and find out where that comes from, but it's. But I think it's a really interesting idea. Out of the strong came forth sweetness, and collect golden syrup, make flapjack, and then contemplate the philosophy on the tin. That's kind of complete thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I genuinely never taken the time to look at that actually before, and never thought about that. There you go. There's something else we've learned in lockdown.
Do tomorrow, yes, rush round to Sainsbury's and panic buy some golden syrup tins.
I think we might even have one in the cupboard. Actually, I'll have a look in a minute.
Oh right. And funny thing is, everybody who has golden syrup, and I don't do a lot of sweet thing cooking. I like savoury cooking, but I do keep a tin of this for. I feel I'm advertising it now. Look, there's a pack shop.
Other golden syrup is available.
Yeah, other brands. I'm not sure they are actually.
No, I mean that's rubbish.
I think this is it. But everybody who has a golden syrup tin, when you've finished it, you wash it out and you keep it. I mean, you don't throw a golden syrup tin away because it's a piece of art. And so there's a lot of people. I was discussing this on the interweb the other night. There's people who've just got displays of golden syrup tins, and I have as well. I've got my every time I finish one, wash it out, it goes into the display on the shelf. Yeah, we do have limited lives, don't we?
Well, there you go. It was something I didn't expect to talk about or learn tonight. Or I mean, maybe you could take a photo and send it over, and we'll put it out tomorrow.
Well, if you can do it yourself if you've got one.
Oh no, I meant of your collection, Peter. I'm interested.
Right.
Quite interested to see. Now, I mean, you've set it up. I'm intrigued.
I mean, we could do one of those, collectors' corners. And now, what do you collect? Well, I collect. I've actually got golden syrup tins. I've got the other version, which is the treacle.
Oh right, okay.
Treacle, which is the same. I'd like to keep those. And Coleman's.
Oh, Coleman's mustard, of course.
I mean, these are all. I mean, they have. You use the stuff in it, and then you've got this really nice thing, which really shouldn't be thrown away. It's a piece of packaging art, and
they don't make them like that anymore, Peter. Certainly,
they do. No.
I know they make those ones, but
I see what you mean. No, but they still make all of these are current. That's the thing. Like Marmite pots. I mean, apart from that hideous plastic squeezy Marmite, which is no good to man or beast, they still make Marmite in a Marmite jar, and I keep those. But they're very useful because I make vinaigrette in a Marmite pot, and I keep herbs in them. They're very good for keeping. This is so useful tonight. I feel I'm being because when you buy herbs or spices, they tend to go off in direct light. I'm sure you know that, and they always put them in glass jars. And they go off very quickly. Well, if you decant those into a Marmite jar, which is more attractive than the little glass things, the Marmite jar will keep the light from them, and they will preserve the spices longer. And you can stack those up in your cupboard and then recycle the little spice jar.
You know those viral videos that go around, and you say like 10 tips or 10 things you can do. I think you should. I think you should do one, Peter. 10 things you can do with toilet rolls, or. The best one of those I saw was somebody had filled up. I think it was literally got toilet roll holders, and they'd filled them up with concrete, and they made a plant pot, and it was horrible. And it was one that they'd put really nice lighting on it, really professional video, and it was still a lump of concrete that you were going to put in your corner. It was useless.
I think we've all been in lockdown too long. It's time we got out in the world a bit. But
I think that's true. I think I should go from a one-a-day exercise now. Which I think on that note, I probably will draw the streams at close because we're probably almost at the end of our time tonight. But Peter, lovely chatting to you. Thank you very much for your insights.
Take up so much time.
Well, it's not my time, I mean, no.
Other people's.
But but lovely to speak to you. We'll catch up. We'll catch up again tomorrow evening. So I think I'll just play us out of a short piano piece, and then we'll call it an evening.
Yeah. Night all.
So thank you very much again, once again, for watching the stream tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had some really interesting, insightful discussions, learned all about all about everything, but especially about Lions and Sweetness. That's been fantastic, and what to do with your Marmite jars. So do watch back for that candid tip. But once again, I've been Richard. This has been Behind the Piano, and we've really enjoyed it tonight. So thank you again, and see you tomorrow evening. Good night.